Polygon Pythagoras. MetaMask, yeah, crypto cash. Yeah, I seen the metaverse through Metatope, my eyes a megaphone. Customize my empty skin to optimize my flesh and bone. Phase 1, evolution, revolution. Smart contracts inside your smartphone. Phase 1, evolution, revolution. Help me ET's phone. Whole body markerless motion capture. The metaverse broken after the Metatope golden era. The whitelist still open, hurry up what you need, golden chariot. Holy virgins that's holding cherubims, paving the road with fairy dust. Create the avatar of your wildest dreams, yeah. And use it inside your live stream. And all your metaverses, favorite games in widescreen. Metatope, visualize your digital ID. Yeah. I seen the metaverse through Metatope, my eyes a megaphone. Customize my empty skin to optimize my flesh and bone. Yeah, Metatope is your mirror to the metaverse.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Thank you for coming out. Kiwi Girl, thank you. Derby, thank you. Arctic, Victor, thank you all for coming out.
Hey, great to see everybody today. Thanks for coming out. Unfortunately, our special guest, Naraf Dow, is not going to be able to make it. They had some sickness in the family, but you know what? We're going to carry on. We're going to have a great discussion. Anybody who wants to come up and join us, we're going to have some panel members from the team coming in and out. It'd be a good day anyway. We're still going to do our giveaway. So lots of stuff going on. I'm going to ask you guys, please tweet out the space. Let's get some more people in here. We're going to have a great discussion. Let's get this thing going. Up at the top, we've got our giveaway going on. I'm going to point everybody to that. Make sure you follow, do all the little things necessary there. Go ahead and get in the Discord. Get yourself a chance to win 50 ETH, right? Why not? With that being said, I'm going to get us started off.
I think you meant $50 in ETH, not 50
Did I say
ETH.
that? Yes, $50.
Yeah, I think you said 50 ETH. That'd be an incredible win, though.
It would be.
Maybe someday.
It would be. Yes, so thank you for clarifying for me. My name is CryptoMedic. I am the operations manager. I also go by John Abrams in the real world. So we are a fully doxed project, and happy to have everybody in here listening to stay. Hopefully we'll have a good discussion. I want to remind everybody this information is not financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. And always, I remind everybody to do your own research before purchasing or investing in anything. With that being said, over the last year, we've seen an amazing range of events in crypto, both good and bad. And if Web3 is to truly reach the masses, how can we educate new investors to adopt the technology while empowering both current and future customers and businesses to grow the industry? So that's what I kind of lay out there. What do you think, Enzo? Give me your input on that.
So to get people into the space, I think for educational purposes, I think most people need to get the basics down, like the whole MetaMask, how to download, set up a MetaMask, and like where to properly store your seed phrase. Or if you have good memory, I know some people don't, some people do. I wrote my seed phrase down like 6-7 times, and then I burnt it because I remember like my seed phrase. I have really good memories, so like my 12 words, no one will ever know because I wrote them down and then I burnt them because I can remember them. And I still practice them every now and then. I log off my MetaMask and log back in. But I think the importance of properly storing your seed phrase, aside from that, like what not to do when you get in Discord, like obviously turn off DMs. Like we have to teach people, about the scams that happen first to like there are risks involved. Unfortunately, it happens. But I think educationally, we moving forward, we have to teach people liquidity pools. We have to teach them what the NFTs are, what a NFT with utility is, and move off of that template right there. And I think we're starting to see people move away from just PFPs and move into more utility. So with the coming months and probably coming years, I think teaching people what a real utility looks like would be an amazing way to go.
Well, I agree. Most definitely, we have to show people utility, but I think even more so than that, right? We have to start to flesh out as an industry, right? What is the utility as an industry, really, that's going to draw the masses, right? Because having people have PFPs, even the things that we're doing with full motion graphics and being able to represent yourself in a different way, and digital content is only one small block still of the larger, blockchain and revolution in technology, in ownership and digital ownership, in decentralization, hopefully. So I think that in order to get the masses on board, we have to do better at educating people at what this can bring, what kind of future this offers, right? What are the benefits? Because we see there are a lot of people who lash back at what's going on in this industry, not only due to uh, the prevalence of fraud and distrust, but also because of a lack of understanding of what makes a good project, what are good investments, what are these investments trying to build, besides a promise, right? Or besides a pretty picture. And I think we're starting to see in this type of market, those projects are starting to rise to the top and survive, and the ones that should be falling by the wayside are. That's what bad markets do, right? They tend to flesh out the weak. I want to
Yeah,
let
I completely agree. I think this bear market is used mostly for building. And once the bull market comes around, you'll reap the rewards of everything you've built during this time, during this downtime where the markets are bad, where money's getting taken out of NFT, um, out of crypto, is where you take the time to fully build out your roadmap, you build out your team, you build out your vision, and start working on implementing different things into what you promised these people that you would bring them. And the projects that overpromised and under-delivered are, like you said, getting washed away.
Sure,
uh,
sure. But I think going forward, right, how do you bring money back into the industry is going to be the question, right? Because of what's happened now, because of what's especially happened over the last year, how do we begin to build trust again in the industry? How do we bring new investment and new eyes onto the industry as a whole? I think it's some of what a lot of projects are doing, right? It's trying not only to clean that stuff out, but what you're talking about, which is bringing value, not just utility, but value to the industry, right? And that comes from building, right, something beyond a PFP or a picture, right? It's people who are building metaverses. These are enormous amounts of coding, people building apps. Again, enormous amounts of work and coding, which really amounts to man hours, right, behind a keyboard. And that's really what this time allows. And that's hopefully what will come out of it, which I think we've seen in prior markets like this, whether it's crypto or even stock markets and things, is that typically what happens after a down market is when you have that bull run, you typically get those companies that have really spent that time building for that rise, right? So that when people are in that mindset of it's time for me to start looking, you're standing at the top of that bunch saying, yep, here we are, and here's why you should buy our product, or here's why you should invest in us, or whatever it is you're trying to do in the space.
yeah, I completely agree, and I think one of the best ways that we need to we'll see people start onboarding into crypto is fiat on ramps. I think people aren't fully aware of how to buy crypto in some parts of the world, and even you're seeing it now with OpenSea. Now you can not only just pay with crypto, but you can pay with a credit card. You can
Right.
you can start to use OpenSea with a credit card. And I think that is going to really help bring people on board. Same thing with a lot of other projects. You can now mint from their site using a credit card, and I think that's one of the biggest ways that we get eyes into different projects and into different NFTs and into all of web, whether 2.5 almost going into 3. It's just people allowing people to use what they know, which is a credit card or a debit card.
Absolutely. This is, where you're trying to get those first pieces, right? And really what's it about is people being able to interact with the blockchain without knowing that they're interacting with the blockchain. That's the real sleight of hand, if you will, or the trick of the programmers, right? And the D app and all of these things that have been being built and certainly are getting better, right? I mean, I think a lot of us who've been in this industry for a long time remember the early versions of a lot of these D apps, the instability of them, the riskiness of them. Certainly, there are more and more things, and I would say the greater good is going to win over, right? I think overall, the greater good of security and KYC, these things that are important for companies, especially when you're dealing with large sums of money and large sums of investments, are important. I think that's what we're seeing come out now, right? Not a lot of people are standing for it's just two kids in their basement who happen to write some good code and they don't want to tell you who they are, but they want to put out $100 million worth of assets. I don't know if those days are gone, but I think they are. And I certainly think with what the SEC is starting to look at, certainly with respect to the things we've seen coming out of Bored Apes this, past week or two, with Kim Kardashian being slapped on the hand for $1 million. Obviously the government here, where I am in the US, I'm sure in many other places as well, is starting to look at how they're going to get their hands on this, how they're going to take the decentralized aspects out of it and get control of it somehow, right? That's what governments do. But that being said, I still think that the biggest thing that drives markets is uncertainty. And so I think that's where we are still, right? We're in this mire of what are they going to do with it? How hard are they going to come down or not? What are they going to require or not? Just make the decisions, tell us what you're going to do, and let us go on with business under those rules. And I think when you see that, we'll see that big uptick come.
Yeah, I totally agree. Especially now that the SEC is looking into Bored Ape, like you said, if Bored Ape wins this this thing against the SEC, I think that could actually really turn the tides for the whole NFT space. If Bored Apes wins, then I see that as a complete positive for the space. It will turn this entire space around. It might not be it might not be an NFT bull market, but it might start to be a pullback. I'm not sure if we've hit the bottom or not yet for the NFT like bear market, but if Bored Apes manages to win, I think that would do absolute wonders for the space.
Absolutely. I mean, that's going to give a boost to the space. It's going to give a boost to confidence as to what people are doing. All of those things are good. I mean, I think even the fact that they're being looked at can be good because, again, this is what the blockchain is about, right? It's openness, it's public, it's all out. And so why shouldn't these projects be able to be looked at? And they're cooperating. It's not, but that should be the thing. It should be, yeah, look, this is what we're doing and we're not trying to get around anything. How do we all work together? And hopefully that's what comes out of it really in the end is a better understanding by both sides as to how the government protects the people, but at the same time, industry is allowed to grow and flourish in a way that's productive for the world.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think we can also learn from some of the mistakes that Bored Apes did that I think got him in this situation in the first place. I'm not sure what fully got them, but I'm pretty sure on one of their posts, like when they were dropping this land, they said something about generational wealth. When they were dropping the other side land and people were going nuts over it, something about generational wealth came up. And I think that's, like the mistake that got them here in the first place. I
Yeah,
could be wrong. I'm not
I don't know. I'm
100%
not an
sure.
IP attorney, but I know that you have to be very careful these days about what you're promising people with respect to securities and how NFTs are seen. And that's really what it boils down to, right? And honestly, we have to take a step back and realize that there is a leap between marketing and promises to investors. And those are two different things, right? Because you market to customers and you do something very different with investors. And I think what crypto has allowed is there's been this cross of those two areas where there's confusion on both sides, right? Am I a customer buying something or am I an investor investing in something with some moderate expect of a return on that investment? And what is that return, right? And so this is where we've gotten into this mire of people trying to promise that return in many different ways. If not financially, we see it promised in returns in other ways, right? Uh, Token gated communities, access, right? Access to whatever that may be. It could be access to people, information, alpha, whatever it is. It's exclusivity that they're selling. And so all of a sudden, many of these projects have turned from an investment in something to make money, either because it was a collector's item, art. I'm all for that. If art is good and people show value in art, why not collect art? If you so choose to sell that and try to up what it's worth, why not? That's real value. At the same time, there's real value in some of the financials and in some of the products and utility. But if you're going to tell me I'm buying this and it's expected as an investment to return something, then I expect an actual monetary return on my investment. Otherwise, call it what it is. It's a product. And that product is giving you any number of things, just like any other product does, right? So it could be something as simple as a toothbrush as a product, and it gives me the ability to brush my teeth. Well, we're selling a product. It's going to be an app. It's going to give you the ability to do many different things. Embody your NFT as a 3D avatar, make content and monetize that content on a social platform, getting that monetized content on the blockchain, owning that content on the blockchain. So to me, these are valuable items, and they're just examples. There are many projects doing many valuable things, as opposed to selling an investment in an idea or a group or a picture, right? Because as much as we'd all like to see the days where people were flipping NFTs for all this money, unless it's something amazing as far as just a flat piece of art, I think you got to bring a lot more to the table these days. Uh, People don't want to just buy a picture for their PFP and spend tens of thousands of dollars on it. Or people don't even want to spend hundreds of dollars on it in hopes that it will be worth tens of thousands of dollars, right? Because what's really going to make that happen? What made it happen the last time? It was the influencers or famous people. It was the community that grabbed onto it that made the value. So
Yeah, and like you were saying, I think NFT projects, just like companies, like a company sets out to provide some sort of value into the world, and then in return for their value that they provide, they get money back from whoever decides to invest or whoever decides to buy the product. And I think that's what NFTs should move towards too also. Not trying to make 200 ETH volume on OpenSea for the creators, but to provide value in some sort of way. And like you were saying, whether that be through a gated community or something like that. But what is the value that the NFT project is giving back to the holders? Just like
exactly. And what is
like
value, right? Like beyond monetarily, like if I'm an investor and I'm getting back something worth of value, but in owning an NFT, and I'm not talking about utility, because utility and value really can be separated into two different things, right? Utility is what can I do with it? Value is what does it provide for me? What do I get out of owning this, right? Does it provide any value either A, to my life, to my wallet? Like what value is, to my mental stability because I'm part of a great community that I love to hang out with? I mean, all of those things can be true. But we have to start to, as our CEO Walker says, we have to be to stack value. How do we bring more and more and more value to the people who are buying in, to the people who stay in the community, right? Because like you were talking about, it's not about driving volume on OpenSea. It's about building a community that wants to hold on to these things, because the more that people hold on to them and utilize them when they have utility like ours, the more those things are going to be coveted and the more they're going to be worth. That's great that you can trade something and it goes from, 0 to 100 grand over a 15-minute frenzy, but what's it worth in 10 years? Like nothing, because then it just died off right after. I want to see the steady growth, right? From purchasing something at a fair price, it being used and growing and becoming a household name and becoming the platform that Web3 is built on. And then you go, and I owned one at the beginning, and that's why, I'm never giving it up, because people come to me and say, oh, I want you to endorse this because you own these things. You're already seeing it in other communities, right? And it's because they own a picture.
Yeah, I totally agree. And there comes there comes a point where these also grow invaluable because they're collectibles, but not only because they're collectibles, you also have to understand that if for us specifically, and I know that there's other projects with some great artists, but for us specifically, we also have Jared Morantz behind this, who's a world-renowned concept artist. And I think if you look at it just as an NFT, you can get that it's just an NFT. But if you look at it as it's an NFT that was made by Jared Morantz. It now also becomes an NFT that is now a collectible of a world renowned artist. And, like, I think that adds some special value to what, we're bringing to the table because of what he has produced and the value that he's already added into the world. Think about all the people that watch Marvel movies, myself included, and absolutely love, Thanos, who I'm not sure if he's a bad guy or a good guy still. Like, I still am on the edge. But like Jared Morantz created that character, that concept art of Thanos, and he is the one that's building our NFTs also. So like the
Yeah, it's
value of
amazing. I mean,
having him on it.
that's exactly what we've been talking about, right? Value. So, I mean, I want to start to see, which is what we're doing, right? We talk about Jared Morantz doing the art. I mean, I'm not going to, go through everything we're doing here in 5 minutes, but the layers, right? It's from the people creating the art to the platform on the blockchain that it's being built on, to the CERTIC audit, to the team that's leading the branding, to the pitches that we're doing to brands on the back end that we can't even talk about because the brands are so big, right? It's all of that value that I want to see out of other projects too. I want you to be able to start to see these projects and say, I'm not just giving you A, I want to see A, B, C, D, E, F, G. What else are you doing, right? And there's no reason why you can't have all of these layers if you're building more than a project, right? Which is really what this is about. It's building an ecosystem. It's building a platform. It's much more than putting out 9,999 NFTs, right? With that being said, I want to invite everybody, please tweet the space out again. Would anybody like to come up? Anybody have any comments on what we've been talking about? Please raise your hand, come on up, talk to us. Don't be afraid. We don't bite.
Yeah, I wanna see what other people's input is when it comes to, you know, education in the space. And also, since we're talking about empowerment, I'm thankful that there's two females in in the space right now. We have Kiwi Girl, who is part of many projects that I'm in, and we also have Derby Chicken, who is my girlfriend. But I think we need to empower women to also be more act. I'm not sure is I don't like the person at the very bottom. I'm not like you have a female PFP. I'm not sure if you're a female or not. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I don't want to butcher it. But if you are a female, thank you for being on space. Yeah, I see the heart. So I'm guessing you're a female. But I think we need to empower more women to come into the NFT space, because right now it's a male dominant space right now, and I think women have a big role to play in this space, mostly because if you notice this, like women are more level headed in when it comes to the NFT space. Like most of the time, like I'll be talking to Shelly, and like she'll be more level-headed about certain things than I am. So it's great to have women in the space, and I think we need to encourage more women to come in the space, and and have them have the ability to be on par with men. Like I think women should try to get in here because it will allow them to have the power that they deserve, and to have the power and the empowerment that they need in order to fully get ahead, whether they be an artist or a developer, because I think the Web3 space doesn't see gender like the Web2 space does.
I think you're right. I
So
think what you're seeing is that women have begun to use not just Web3, but social media platforms, technology, really, right? Women have used technology to empower themselves to gain a grasp where men typically would not give them a foothold. And that's where the real push needs to be, right? Is I like that it's in this space. We need to empower women more in the real world as well, because more women in control, I think, at least in my own humble opinion, the world would be a better place. Um, and it depends on the woman, of course. That's not to say that there aren't women who are good and bad, but I think that women bring a unique perspective, right? I think there's a reason why there are men and women on the planet, and when you put one of anything solely running something, whether that's men and women or whether, you look at other divisions in nature or in companies, if you give one side all of the power, typically it just turns out to be a bad deal for everybody, even the side that's in power. So, I'm all for more equality. I think it's been a hard fight. I mean, I think not just women, but LGBTQ, and I think anybody just in being able. This is what the space has really provided, right? The ability for us to express ourselves in a way that many of us may have been fearful or uncomfortable in doing before. And so, to kind of bottle this all up, I think that's somewhere where our app and our NFTs can revolutionize what's going on in Web3. For when you can become this 3D avatar and dress it how you want, and then be able to record yourself in full 3D dancing, spinning, smiling, pointing, doing whatever it is that makes you you. What better way to be able to actually embody what Web3, I think, is offering us, which is the ability of true equality like I don't think this planet has ever seen. I know somebody came
yeah,
up and asked to speak, so please do that again. I missed.
completely agree. And yeah, Shelly, whenever you want to speak, go ahead.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
Hi, Shelly.
Hey, I feel like I've definitely met my people. I feel like I've definitely met my community here. I love it. I love Metatobe. I think it's just so fun. And I can't wait to make my avatar. I was looking through the Instagram today so that I can make a PFP for the Discord. And I love the one from the Titanic.
Absolutely. I think I think that says it all for you.
With
I
Leonardo
love it.
in the bag and the Metatote with the sunglasses in the front. So I was like, yeah, screenshot. I'll take that one until, I can get one. So yeah, thanks so much. And thanks for talking about the ladies. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Absolutely. We love our followers. I love Derby Chicken. She's great. She's been around forever. We go back. But that's the thing, right?
Yes.
Nowadays, it's not just selling a product. You're selling yourselves. You're selling the community. People aren't interested in buying a product.
Right.
They're
Long-term
interested in
utility for
people.
years to come. Not just like you were saying, a quick flip, but we can use our avatar now, next month, in a couple of months, next year.
Yeah, and where are you going to be able to take this avatar? Like, at first you're going to be in an app, then you're going to take it in a game, then you're going to take it in a Zoom call. Like more and more, we all realize we're headed towards a digital world. I work from home. Many of the people
I've
in these
I've
spaces do, right? Yeah. So
I've seen what the app is capable of when it comes to Zoom calls. Whenever we have our team meeting Zoom calls, and I've seen I've seen people wearing their Metatope already in the Zoom calls, and yeah, it's absolutely crazy. And I'm pretty sure soon or in the near future, we'll be able to stream on Twitch with it, right? Twitch,
that's
YouTube.
correct. That's correct. Twitch is one of our first partners. So that'll be stuff that's coming. And then, of course, we have Moxie with the video game side, and we'll be plugging into there. And there's what am I talking about? Metaverses, I guess is the term I was looking for, that we'll be plugging into. We're already in talks with a lot of the big ones. So that is the real idea here, right? And that's what we really want people listening to understand. It's not just an NFT. We're building a platform that's going to allow not just you and this NFT, but people who own Bored Apes that own this will be able to become their Bored Ape. And people who own CryptoPunks
Yeah.
who own
Y'all have
this.
such cool partners. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. That's
Well, and the idea
incredible.
is that going forward, not just those, but other projects can come to us and say, hey, we're a huge community. We have these, and we want to come into the metaverse as our avatars. How can we work together to build out our community so it plugs into your app and all of these other places? This is what is missing. This is why we're stuck in Web 2.5, because we have a bunch of islands built that are these great islands that you can go visit. But you got to be a different person in each one. And I have to travel between them. And it means potentially going from app to app or website or device to device. I want the future you guys all want. I want to walk around as an avatar without goggles on my face. I want to be able to sit in my living room and smile and wave at people in the metaverse and wave at them in the metaverse. And that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, and see
Yeah,
your
like
expression show and not have your expressions covered.
Absolutely. I think one of the coolest visions that keeps getting told to me by the team, in part, it is when we saw stuff like Snoop Dogg uh, dancing as the ape, right? Which is phenomenal and probably costs $50,000 or more to make, because it took a whole team of graphic artists and rendering and green screens to do that. And it was really wonderful. But imagine with our app the ability to set that phone on your desk and stand in your living room and dance, and what everybody sees and you see on the screen is you dancing as your ape if you own one. To me, that vision unlocks a lot of possibilities. It unlocks the possibilities for the entertainer to stand wherever they are with a cell phone and put on a show like they really want to put on, not one that has to be pre-choreographed and then digitized into some type of skin. Like, they can on the fly do whatever they feel like doing, and they're shown as that whatever character or NFT they've chosen to show themselves as. And at the same time, us in the audience have embodied our favorite NFTs, and we're all out there dancing together to the music, and we see and interact with each other as whatever NFT we feel embodies us. That's what this is the core of. And that's what this team's been working 2 years nonstop on building. And this is what's so exciting about finally getting towards, I call it the end of the building. It's really the beginning, getting towards the beginning of the launch of it all.
Yeah, and just to show you guys like how good the app is. If you go up to the top, I pinned another tweet that we just sent out a day ago. This was yesterday, and this was, if I'm not mistaken, was this at the Vegas conference where
It
Chris
was.
got to?
It
Okay,
was.
yeah. So we went to Vegas. Well, I didn't, but Chris, one of the co-founders of Metatope, went to the Vegas meetup, the NFT Vegas meetup, and he got to show um what the co-founder of Cardano, our app. And if you see the
Well,
co-founder of
he's the co-founder of Ethereum, the founder of Cardano.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you see him actually opening and closing his hand, and you can see that our app catches that. Like, not only does it catch your arm and your full body, but it catches all the way up to your fingertips. So whatever you are doing with your fingertips, like the app will catch. And like I think that's where we're like way ahead of the game, because there's apps there that will catch your hand, but for them to actually catch your fingers is a completely different story. Like, I haven't seen an app like the one that we have. And
Absolutely. Because, who are you? If you can't give somebody a thumbs up or some other choice fingers, then what good are my hands, right?
yeah, I agree. I feel like you have to catch everything. And I've seen videos of people using the app, and they can even catch the smile. Like, they can catch the facial features going on.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. And when you're able to really, I can't wait to show you guys when we really start rolling this stuff out with floating helmets and the graphics that Jared Morantz has been working on for a very long time. It's going to blow people away. I really do. I mean, if you, my I'm not under my profile right now. I'm under the Metatope one, but I'm CryptoMedic, and you can always look up my profile. I'm in Discord all the time too, but I have, like, my PFP is set to one of the characters that'll be coming out, and I mean, I just love them. I think they're so unique, number one, and then varied, number two, right? Because you see a lot of projects that put stuff out, and it really does a lot of things look like just, okay, it's just a different variation of that. But there are so many variations of these, and so much care and detail was taken in every aspect of how they are different from each other, the different lines, that I think there's, people are going to be very excited about not looking like somebody else, right? Like, I can look like my own individual type of character, and then as these accessories start to roll out and we start to partner with brands, I think it's the sky's the limit as to what you're going to be able to do with these, and how you're going to be able to not only show off yourself and your personality, but then for those of us who want to monetize that in the way of content, like, the app is just going to be amazing at people being able to share, and to-ching, it just goes into your blockchain wallet. I mean, come on, that's what we've all been waiting for, right? I know I don't want to deal with Twitter's ads algorithms anymore, right?
Yeah, I think one of the important things that you touched on was onboarding brands. That's going to be huge because, think about all the followers that these brands have, and the followers probably are not in the metaverse, or if there are any, it's very few of their followers that are in the metaverse. But now imagine being able to catch one of these brands and have their entire following come into the space. Like,
Absolutely. When Disney looks at your project and says, "Oh, we want you to make XYZ, with us or whatever," all of a sudden you don't just get their maybe NFT community. Suddenly you get the marketing arm of Disney, right? Or whoever it is, Gucci, or DeLorean, whoever it is that you partner with, and that's where a lot of this is at. That's where a lot of these, why our CEOs and VPs and partnership people are not in every space all the time or in Discord all the time, because they're nose to the grindstone like a lot of us, finishing off the things, putting all of the signatures on the papers that need to be done. So when this thing launches, it's really, everything that we all know that it can be. And that's where we're going. At this point, I want to have Enzo choose a winner, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Let's do that.
I'm going to be using a Twitter picker. So hopefully everybody, did what was asked up on the first pinned tweet. And we're going to be running the Twitter picker off of that. So give me like 2 minutes and I'll have a winner right away.
Cool, man. Does anybody else have some input? Want to come up? Say anything? Throw your hand up. Come on, please. We don't mind other points of view, but you don't have
I also think
to.
how interesting it will be once we have our partnerships with other NFT projects and we're able to use whether it be their specific metaverse. Like I just want to see the difference in all these metaverses, because to do that, if you wanted to do that without Metatope, you would basically have to buy each and every one of these NFTs and go hop in different metaverses. But with the Metatope, it will unify all of that. So yeah, it'd be nice to jump around from metaverse to metaverse, but not only that, eventually from blockchain to blockchain, to see the difference in blockchain metaverses, like the difference of AVAX metaverses versus Ethereum versus Cardano's. So yeah, that's going to be really interesting also.
Well, and that's a great point. And that's really what this technology is being set up for and allows for, is because you're not carrying these 3D files with you, packed in somewhere that you got to take to all of these different places and upload or transfer on a laptop or something. Because when we partner with a metaverse where this is going to work, then those files for those NFTs in 3D glory will be there already. And so whether it's on Ethereum or it's on Cardano or it's on AVAX, eventually, it's really just as simple as an authentication on that chain that you have the rights to that NFT and are part of our system, and then lo and behold, there's your NFT in that metaverse. And so the way that we've designed it makes it very easy, and the SDK that is given out for people to onboard this should be very easy for them to do so. And again, because it's built in Unity, which is something that all of these developers are very familiar with and using for games and metaverses and creating 3D environments. So it's very exciting. And I love the people that we get to talk to every day about partnering with, about how we all are trying very hard to bring this vision, together. We can build the connectivity, but we still need the communities and the metaverses and the NFT projects to connect through all of this. So we all need each other. And I think that's a great part of what makes Web3 great. All right, Enzo, what you got?
Our winner for the Twitter picker is Kiwi Girl, actually.
Kiwi Girl, nice.
So, Kiwi Girl, if you could send actually, you can just send it to me. It'll be easier for me to get it to directly to the team from my Twitter than if you message the team Twitter, because they have a lot of DMs to go through. So, Kiwi Girl, message me your wallet address, and we'll get you your reward back in before tonight.
Yep, absolutely. We'll get that going for you. Congratulations. Thanks so much for coming. Yeah, congratulations. Thanks so much for coming and supporting us. With that, I want to thank everybody for being here. The team at Metatope appreciates everybody for participating today. Stay tuned for more events, giveaways, announcements. We absolutely love our community. Please tell your friends to step into the Metatope with me, Crypto Medic, every Thursday on TopeTalk.
I seen the metaverse through Metatope, my eyes a megaphone. Customize my empty skin to optimize my flesh and bone. Phase 1, evolution, revolution. Smart contracts inside your smartphone. Phase 1, evolution, revolution. Help me ET's phone. Whole body markerless motion capture. The metaverse broken after the Metatope golden era. The whitelist still open. Hurry up, what you need, golden chariot. Holy virgins that's holding cherubims, paving the road with fairy dust. Create the avatar of your wildest dreams, yeah. And use it inside your live streams, and all your metaverses, favorite games in widescreen. Metatope, visualize your digital ID. Yeah. I seen the metaverse through Metatope, my eyes a megaphone. Customize my empty skin to optimize my flesh and bone. Yeah, Metatope is your mirror to the metaverse. Yeah, I seen the metaverse through Metatope, my eyes a megaphone. Customize my empty skin to optimize my flesh and bone. Metatope.com